So I'm working on a project for a company, and I sometimes when I'm programming, what I'll do is I will write out a majority of the code and then put some dummy text in, and then actually go in and rip out the different parts of my code base into individual components. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I let me run the project so I can show you what it is. This is an application that I'm building. I do a lot of freelance work, and so as a result, I picked up a project. 3000. I picked up a project here. I'm gonna stop that. And to build an application for a company, a small startup here in California. And so this is sort of the dashboard piece, but I'm working on this page right here, and it's a client's page. They haven't really given me the design yet for this page, but I've kind of started wiring a little bit of the UI, because I need this portion of the application to work alongside the rest that I'm programming. And so what I was showing was my code, and what I normally do is I will normally write out a majority of my code here, and then I'll pull it out into components, and then from the components I will write out unit tests and get through breaking it down a little bit cleaner, and writing out types and doing the whole cleanup thing. So I am going to be using ChatGPT for this. Basically, want to show you guys how I go through a development span. So I have this client page with this sort of like a search box. Let me see if I can. I don't think it lets me. Okay. So this is like a static search that I created, really just to show the behavior of the search. And then you can come in here and you can fill out a bunch of details for the client. And it's a CRUD system. So if you go down and press create client, it's going to create a client. Yeah, so I have Zod. Um, Zod is controlling the. It's kind of messed up on the UI, but Zod is controlling the form behavior. So if a field is missed, it won't populate, or it won't let you go on to submit the form. But right now I'm working on this left-hand side with this sort of search box, and it'll list out clients, and then you can come in here and search it. What I want to do is I want to take all of this code base, and I want to break out that search. There's two columns. I want to take that left column and break that search out into its own component. And so what I've done is I have came over here and I've created a list search component. All right. Um, where I'm stumped at, well, not really stumped, like I'll figure it out. But what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do for me is to help me refactor this component, which is all it is this. It's this left side of my form. Hold on, let me see, where is that? That's the form, and then it's up here. All it is this bit of code that I copied over into its own component, gave it its own name and everything. Okay, list search. I'm gonna have ChatGPT help me refactor this. I'm gonna have it help me refactor it and accept the data. So what happened is it hit us. It hit the API, and then this page, this client's page, would pull back client data and then list it into this component. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me refactor and bring in the um, basically an array of objects into this component, and then populate this component with those items. And then the only other it should be pretty simple to get this refactored, but the only other thing that really bugs me, that's going to take a little bit of time for me to um, to figure out, is the if I want to organize which parameters goes first. Like for example, in the clients page, if you look down here, there's just three fields. There's the client name, client email, and client address. Well, what if I'm using this component? What if I'm using this list search component for a completely different data set, and I want to be able to organize what parameters go first in the list. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, right here is the client name, the client email, and the client address. What if I want the address to go first? If this is a reusable component, a functional component, I need to be able to tell this component which what order that I expect those fields to be placed into this theme, into this functional component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to ChatGPT, and I think I still have my copied and paste. Okay, I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write into the ChatGPT, and I actually have a project set up based off of the name of the project. It's really cool because it looks like they just introduced this project section of ChatGPT where you can kind of contain everything into one section. So I've already started writing out what my prompt is going to be, and here's what I put in. I said I have a list search component. I want to be able to pass in an array of objects, but I need a way to organize which items go in what order. Help me rewrite this component. Help me rewrite slash refactor this Next.js strict TypeScript component. What else? Um, I think I touched on everything we need. So I need a way. It says I want to be able to pass in an array of objects, which is basically what the sample data set is that I was using. It's an array of objects. Let me show you. I just created a very simple mock clients, and it's an array, and it has objects in it, array of objects. Okay, I want to be able to pass in that type of data, but I need a way to organize which items go in what order. I'm trying to think of another way to say that would prompt ChatGPT to understand what I mean. But for some reason, I've had really good luck with this Chat O3 Mini. It's actually pretty smart. The reasoning that this thing does is like it's really detailed, and the more detailed that you get, the better your results are. So I'm learning how to structure my prompts to be more specific to get what I want. Now I could totally figure this out. Like I could figure it out on my own. But what I've been doing is I've been testing out these various AI tools and AI models to see which ones are smart, which ones get the job done and make development faster. I'm sort of under a gun to get this project out for this client, and yeah. So anyways, so I'm gonna run this prompt, And actually, the other thing that I forgot. Let me back up a little bit. Um, there's two ways that I usually do it. Like you can attach a file to the O3 Mini. If you go in here and you can switch to 4.0, O 01. Some of those models don't allow you to attach files, but the O3 Mini is the one that is sort of specific to coding and in logic. So it works best. I can attach my document into the into the code, but I'm a little weary about attaching stuff because I don't really know what's behind the hood. I guess I can do it, like look at the browser and like see what exactly they are, what if there's any requests that are being sent, and what they're scraping from my. But I'm a little weary about putting my files in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the list search component, and since there's no real data in here, like there's nothing specific, it's just a really short functional component with an export default, and right now it's only pulling in data, but which is an array. But I'm gonna copy and paste this whole thing. So I'm gonna copy and paste my component code. I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT, and then I always do this. So like I put a few of these little things here, and then I give it a few lines, and then I paste. Now, again, I think I mentioned this in my other video. Is like you don't want to put your company's info in it, like names and stuff, like the company name. Who cares, right? Like, but like if it's any data related to like security related PII or anything specific that should stay private, omit it, and write it out, and use more cleaner um, cleaner names, and then you could always go back and then change it in your code when you get it back. But so what I did was I copied and pasted my code base, that function, that functional component, and then I have my prompt at the top. I don't really have to tell ChatGPT that I need its help. I just wrote out what I did. Well, I actually did kind of. I said, help me rewrite refactor this Next.js strict TypeScript component. So it does. I am telling it what to do. So, all right, here we go. So I'm going to shoot the prompt. Set its reasoning. Ooh, it looks like it's got some good stuff in here. All right. So the way that I do it, instead of just popping it up here and looking at the code and getting the idea, sometimes I'll go and see what it reasoned about, because I usually want to see if it aligns with what I would do if I wasn't using AI. I mean, if I didn't have this tool, I would be actually writing it out in a algorithm that I have factored or have logically thought through and have decided to use. But I do like to come and read how this model is thinking through this problem. But really, the way I do it is I go all the way down to the explanation. And before I look at the code, like I'll scan through the code. That's kind of clear to see what they've done. But I'll look at the explanation. So it says the TypeScript interfaces. So it says we created an interface list item to describe the shape of each object in the list. This makes it easier to maintain and ensure safety throughout your component. Okay, okay, okay. We sort it via prop. The list search prop interface now includes an optional sort function. Okay. Filtering and sorting with use memo, which is pretty common. Use memo hook computes the filtered and sorted data whenever the input data search query or sort function changes. Okay, okay. Component structure. The component continues to render in a search box at the top and list below. If no matching data is found, it displays a fallback message. Okay, so that's basically what it did. Let's look at the code. So it says below is one way to refactor your component. In this version, we defined a proper TypeScript interface for the list items, um, accept an optional sorting function as a prop so that the parent can control the order. Oh, so it says accept an optional sorting function. Okay. And then it says that you use the use memo hook to memorize the filtered and sorted lists for performance, and then maintain strict typing throughout the component. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty, I come from strongly typed languages like .NET, C++, so it's got to be strict typing. What this, just looking at this, what this lacks, and where I went wrong at in my prompt is I didn't tell it to generalize this component, because look at what the interface items. It says client name, client contacts, client address. Well, this component is supposed to be reusable and should be reusable with any sort of search, list search. So like I can have a list of companies. I can have a list of pets. I can have a list of menu items. I could have a list of whatever. This component is should be reusable, and it should be general, and the parent component should be what is controlling what it displays. And in this scenario, because I didn't put inside of my prompt that I wanted it to be general and reusable for any scenario, it gave me exactly what I pasted in there. It referenced um, the attributes and the parameters that was already in that document, because I did not specifically state that I needed it to be generalized. So, um, it's pretty, it's pretty specific to search clients, which is what I want. But again, I want this to be. There's other places within the application that I want to use this component at. So, anyways, what it did was it created an interface, and actually it created a couple of interfaces, and then so it did one for the list props and then one for the list items. So the list items is basically the data that comes from the database, and this is the interface for that. And then the list items, it looks like it says the optional function is sort list items if provided the original order is maintained. So this looks like this sorts it based off of um, whatever you passed in, and it's looking for an array of items. So you basically tell it which ones from here come come first, second, third. So I would basically pass in, um, which here are the props that are coming from the parent data and sort function. So this sort function would send an array of props with the order of these items: client name, client contact, email, and address. And then based off of what order you put, that is the order that it will display. And then this looks like this is just a simple sort function for sort behavior. And I like how it puts, I write comments in my code anyways, but I really like how it does commenting too. I just noticed that. Um, Filtered and sorted data. So yeah, this is a typical search filter that you find. And then the basic search box. This is a component that I created, so it used the basic search box that I created inside of this, as it was already inside of the code. And then it just goes through a loop of the sorted data, and then it maps it based off of what order it was in, and then it displays the item name, item contacts. All right, this is cool, but like I said, I need this to be generalized. So here's what I'm going to do: is I'm going to follow this up, and I'm going to say, let's see, I want this search, this search component to accept any type of data, not just client data. I know it's, these prompts, they're simple. They don't require a bunch of new language. They are created from our language, so you can be specific and keep it simple. I want this list search component to accept any type of data, not just client data. Generalize this code to be able to be used with any array of objects with any number of parameters. Okay, here we go. So I said I want this list search component to accept any type of data, not just client data. And I said, generalize this code to be able to be used with any array of objects with any number of parameters. And then I'll say, generalize any interfaces or types in this reusable component. Okay, I said generalize any interface or types in this reusable component. All right, let's see what it does. Let's see what it gives us back. And then we will copy and paste it and then stick it in our code and see what it does. All right, so it says below is one approach to generalize your component, so it works with any type of object. In this version, the component is generic and accepts a render function to output each item, a key extractor, and an optional filtering function to decide whether an item matches the search query. A default filter is provided that stringifies the item if no filter function is passed. Oh, look at this. It says data. Whoa. Okay. And then we got render item, get key. I like these okay, this is good. We got render item, get key, filter function. This is exactly what I need. And then, so it passes these through. This is the parameters that it is accepting. So that's the interface. And then it's passing in this placeholder search. Oh, that's great. It added that in there. Perfect. And then all of these right here are basically, oh, okay. And then it types these params. Excellent. And then you have a state, an empty state that is applied. There is a function, default filter. There is a filtered and sort, so this is that same filter and sort function. And then this is so okay, so it kept my on search. That's good. And then it's basically the same thing that it was doing. It's looking through the filter, and then mapping the parameters based off of what order that you told it. Okay, this is fantastic. So we'll use this code here. Let's just copy and paste this, and then I'm gonna go back to here, And then list search should be able to do this. Basic search box. Wow, look at those comments. That's really cool. Okay. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to, and this is really just for people who, like new developers who may need, uh, may need some assistance on how to actually implement this. I'm going to add a prompt. I'm going to say, uh, let's see, what do I want to say? I want to ask ChatGPT to provide us implementation steps. Please provide steps to implement this in my parent component. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Parent component. So really, all you would do is I create. So my parent component is, where's my parent component? Right here. And no, that's not my parent component. Where the heck is my parent component? It is inside of clients right here. So really what we would do is come down here where that left side is. So where did it go? This is why I like to break it down. This is too long and I have to come in here and search. So that's right side. So this is left side right here. So all of this, UL, all of this would basically be getting replaced. So let me see. So that is basic search. Okay, yeah, so it's the div above that. So it's this entire thing. So it's all of this plus this. And then, okay, so I'm going to show you what the output is. But basically, I'm just kind of jumping ahead of myself. In the code itself, you would basically be applying this into the parent component. You would be setting this component in here like this. And then you'd put all of your parameters in there. So remember, it was looking for placeholder. It wanted that data. That data is that sample data up here. And then it's looking for get key, filter function, sort function. So so here's what I'll do is I said, please provide steps to implement this into my parent component. So just to show you that this can go even deeper, it'll literally list out how you need to implement this as a child component into a parent. So this looks like this has 7 steps, and you can go here and basically it tells you, okay, first thing you do is you import this in your parent component. Then you bring in the type, bring in whatever your type is, and that can be optional. And then it talks about, okay, here's some sample data. Well, we already had sample data inside of our parent component. And then it tells you, okay, now do the render, create the render function. Okay, so the render function actually, this is the div that has it's this right here. That's what it is. And then ChatGPT says, okay, next thing you need to do is you need to come with a key extractor function, and this basically pulls out the key to whatever the parameter is. It'll pull out the actual name, because it's going to use that to apply the order when it renders the order of the items. And then it says optional, define a custom filter or sort function. If you need custom filtering logic, provide a function that takes in the search. So this is basically just that search function that gets applied to your search box or your input as a um, what was it, on click or on change function. So similar, you can define a sort function if needed, and then integrate the search component in your parent component. So this is the parent component, and mine it would be clients, and then you got your render function right here. You got your key extractor, pulls out the keys, and you got your actual search here, and then you got a sort functionality too. Whoa. And then here you go. You have this search feature here. I don't know what this is. Product. Search. Search. What the heck is that? Did I miss something? Oh, it's this. Okay. I see. Interesting. Looks like it may have an error in here. But anyways, um, so you would basically just take this and come into your code, and then yeah, come into your code. Where were we typing this at? We were right here, and then you would paste it in there. Yep. And then of course you would you'd come in here and you know, whatever your data is coming back from the um, the server, as long as it's typed um, and it's an array of objects, it will work in here. Um, Let me see if I can flip this really fast. So this would be our mock clients. Oh, it already has it in there. So it says, so what is product? Hold on, let me go back and see what product is again. So project is actually the array of items, the array of objects. But where is, so what, this is weird. I've never seen that like that before. But it's not erroring out in my code, so I guess it works. And then, unless there's an interface, no, interesting. Maybe there is one here. Let's see one. Ah, it's right here. Okay, that's what that was. Okay, got it. So let me see. I do have an interface that I wrote with this in here, and it's client. So this would be, if we go back down here, this would be this. And then render item. What's render item? Let's go back and get it. Let's render product. What the heck is render item? Oh, it's render product. See, it's late. So and I'm going to edit this to be specific to the client. And then it says get product and filter. So basically all I want to do is just copy this. Copy all these. And then I'm going to go and strip it all out and make it specific to clients. Okay, alright, that's that. Filter clients. Actually, this will probably be, code that one out. And then we got that. Okay, bingo, bingo, bingo. Alright, now let's fill it in with our stuff. So we come back down here. Render products is here. render item, mod clients, this search, and then is this, yep, it's there. So render product. This is client, and then client name. Oh. So as you can see, there is a little bit more detail in here than than you would expect. So we'll say client. So that's the client's name. Wait, did we have? Oh, it's client name. Client name. And then we'll say client email. Email. And then what else was in here? Uh-oh, it's broken. So we'll just put client name, client email, client address. Alright, I think that's what the last one was. Client address. Okay. And then I don't think we need, I guess we can. Client description. Okay. So render client, and that goes down here. So instead of render product, it's render client. And then cannot find any mock clients, okay? So mock clients. Oh, because that is in a function. May have to take that out. Actually, we should take that out because if it's coming from a database, it won't need to be in a function. So, yeah, I think we should take this out because this would probably be in use client. Get this out of here. And I think the purpose of it being in this use, when I was building this, my purpose was to simulate the change behavior in a search. So when you type in it, that's why it's inside of a use effect. Okay, so let's see. So let's say this is client, and this is client ID, and then let's call this get client key. And then so this is get client key. Okay, and then I didn't put the mock clients in here. So mock clients should go here. Okay, filter function. Let's look for filter product. Filter clients. Let's change this to clients because we are doing everything specific to clients. Let's see, client name, right? Client name. What's this? does get, it gets pretty specific. You know, you have to have a good eye, but that's with any programming. You are, as a programmer, you have to have a good eye. You have to have good attention. You have to understand logic. Um, so we're switching this to filter clients. All right, and then sort function is complaining about something. Sort products. So let's go up here and look for sort products, and that's it. Switch that over to sort clients. Clients. And then what is a name? Oh, okay. So it's client name. This is just a sort. Ascending versus descending. I've created these search functions a lot of times before. I've built these things from scratch for many years, and so every time I see them, it never gets old. Alright, so that's that, and that seems to have solved our TypeScript issue. And then we can come down here and then switch that. Okay, any more errors in here? I think there's more errors up here. And that's the enemy. Okay, so we are not using search query anymore. Actually, is there any state being set anywhere in here? No. I guess there's no need to set any state. Yeah, since this is going to be dynamic, and yeah, okay. All right. We don't need use effect anymore, so let's get that out of there. I have ESLint inside of my VS Code, so it automatically will format stuff for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Okay, no errors so far. Let's see what it looks like in the dashboard. Uh-oh, something's broken. It says set mock clients, set clients, mock clients. Let's see what the problem is with that. It's probably formatted differently than it wants to. So it's just set mock clients, and then wait a minute, what did it say? It says in line 85, set mock clients. Oh, I think I know why. Because this came out of fetch, and it was supposed to. It was a function. So let's refresh that. Okay, this is it. Wow. Let's add a couple more clients in here. That's only two. Let's add some more. So let's see. What's this? Oh man. See, I'm so terrible at copying and pasting. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so this would be 3. And then 4. And then let's name this person Jim. Jim Bob. Okay, fine. Jim Burley. Lim. Alright. Classic client C. Client D. Then the description is new client. Let's make this person old client. Okay, and then let's give this person the address of, yeah, no, 920 J Creek Road. Okay, cool. And then let's make this 4411 Tennessee Street. Okay, fine, whatever. Make this 510 since we are in the 510. 700. Okay, we don't need to do all this, but anyways, the goal was just to add a couple extra. So right now we have 2 clients in there, and this is using that new component. And then save, and then now we got these. Now let's see how the search function works. Like, remember, we switched that search functionality out for that I had wrote with the ChatGPT version, which is technically the same thing. It's using use memo, which so let's see. Let's search for Jim. Jim. And it works. So if we go back, and now this reusable component, this reusable list component, can be used anywhere in this application. It can be used anywhere. So just to give you guys a little bit of idea. Well, hold on. Let me test it out a little bit more, and I'll give you some scope on what I'm doing. All right. So a little animation using Tailwind. So a couple things we can do to make it a little bit prettier, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, ChatGPT for the win. I don't know why this isn't working. Not letting me search. Am I pressing the wrong button? What? No? That stopped. What about A? Okay, that worked. Anywho, it works. Of course, I'm a former front end developer, full stack developer. My specialty was front end. So cleaning up this UI and making it look pretty is really my thing. And so that's what I'll be doing. Be filling this in with some clients from the database. Um, but to give you some scope on what I am working on, I looks like my session has died too. I have a couple things disabled, but I'm working on a enterprise resource platform, and that will let um, individuals come in and create textile projects. And it goes through a series of screens and things like that, and creates these projects. And I got about a couple more months to work on this, but yeah, I'm in the process of adding a few things using Tailwinds. Front end framework I'm using is Next.js. It's got a Postgres database hosted on EC2, and yeah, this is a fun project. I'll as I go along, I'll be using this project to sort of play around with AI and see how I can use it in my development. I'll say, you know, I I could have probably figured this out, but it would have definitely took me a little bit longer to refactor that. And I had already sort of started refactoring it, but the AI really, really just kind of took it and did its thing, and it was really just a matter of copying and pasting. But you do have to have some level of understanding of logic and development to be able to do and get it working as it's expected. So I'd say I did a good job. It also reduced some of my code. So, like, yeah, it went from this is the other side of it. This is that form site. This form is going to be converted into a component as well. But it got rid of a lot of code that was in here. Um, and that's the reason why I like reusable components and breaking out my code. Now, clean up the code a little bit, clean up the appearance, and then write some unit tests against this, and I will be all set. Thank you guys for watching. Please click on the like button. I'll be bringing more AI related development stuff to you. I'm actually creating an AI component in here that I'll talk about a little bit later on as I get through this development. But like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.